What's going on, everybody, and welcome back once again to the channel. And before we get into today's video, make sure to subscribe and sack that like button. Some of you may have noticed that I got a community tab now on YouTube. Really excited for that. I'm going to be making awesome, fun football related polls and posts all the time, so make sure to stay in tune for that. And yeah, thank you for everyone who subscribed, because I wouldn't be able to have that tab without you guys. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. And in this video, I'm going to be doing my Week 8 NFL preview. So starting off with the Thursday night game tomorrow, very fun one. Two generational quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, this is a game in which I think will be pretty hard fought, because both teams have good defensive lines and the Ravens have a very good running game. I'm very interested to see how that Buccaneers front seven matches up against that Ravens running attack. One of the better run defenses in the NFL versus one of the better running attacks in the NFL, so that's going to be very interesting. But right now, the Ravens, the Ravens have been a very good team this year. They've had trouble closing games out. Obviously, the Buccaneers have been struggling. I'm going to take the Ravens to win this one 24-21, but it really wouldn't surprise me either way. I think it's going to be a good game. Then the Broncos at the Jaguars, the London game. I think this game will be very, very, very low scoring. I'm assuming Russell Wilson's going to play, because they said he's trending in the right direction to play this week. But I'm going to take the Broncos to win this one 19-12 in a low scoring defensive battle, regardless if Wilson plays or not. And the Dolphins at the Lions. Lions need a win desperately to get back on track. Dolphins, I think, are just a way better team, though. I think the Lions secondary will struggle with the Dolphins, and I think the Dolphins defense will lock down the Lions offense for the most part. I got the Dolphins winning it 28-17. Then the Panthers at the Falcons, a divisional matchup. It's an important game for both teams. I'm going to edge it to the Falcons in this one, 16-13, but the Falcons are still missing Cordell Patterson, and running the ball is how it is the weakness of that Panthers defense. So not having him will definitely hurt, which I think will make this a lower scoring game, but I got the Falcons. Then Cardinals at the Vikings. The Vikings are coming off a bye. Cardinals are coming off of a longer week because they played on Thursday. I think Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen will have a field day against that bad secondary of the Cardinals. I think the Vikings will win it 38-28. I think the Vikings defense will get some key stops where the Cardinals will not be able to keep up. Then the Bears at the Cowboys. Bears coming off of a huge win, but I think the Cowboys may arguably have the best defense in football right now, and that pass rush is insane. They're going to be getting at Justin Fields. The running game will probably disappear. He's going to have no pocket to be able to step up in. And meanwhile, I think the Cowboys will be able to get something going on offense at times. I got the Cowboys winning it 28-10. Then the Raiders at the Saints. This is one that I was kind of going back and forth on, but I'm actually going to take the Raiders to win it 27-26. Raiders, I think the morale of the Saints right now is a little bit low. I think the Raiders are feeling optimistic because they're coming off a win and they have a lot of winnable games coming up. I got the Raiders winning this one. Then the Steelers at the Eagles. Eagles trying to stay undefeated. The Steelers are trying to get a win here, and they really desperately need a win in the battle here of Pennsylvania. The Eagles, I think the A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith will be getting open a lot, whether the Steelers decide to run zone or man against that. And I think the RPO game will be good. Not having T.J. Watt will really show in this game, because they're not going to be able to have him there trying to contain that RPO game if Hurts keeps the ball. And I think that Eagles defensive line will really get after Kenny Pickett in this game, and it's going to be hard for him to make plays. Although I do have the Steelers keeping it close, because this is a desperate Steelers team, and I don't think they're as bad as the record says. I'm going to say the Eagles win it 28-20. Then the Patriots at the Jets, a big divisional matchup. This is an important game for both teams. I'm not going to say it's a must-win for the Patriots, but you definitely don't want to lose this one now after losing the Monday night against the Bears. And the Jets, you want to beat the Patriots. The Patriots are the team that's been bullying you over the last couple of decades, and they really haven't been able to get too many wins. And I think to really put a stamp on it that these are a new Jets team, they need to beat the Patriots. And you know, right now they have the better roster than the Patriots do on both sides of the ball. I'm going to take the Jets to win it 17-14 in a low-scoring defensive battle because I think Belichick's defense will be able to slow down Zach Wilson. However, that's how I felt about the Bears and Justin Fields. However, I do think Justin Fields is a better quarterback, but Justin Fields has less weapons than Zach Wilson does. But I have the Jets winning it anyway. Then the Titans at the Texans, another divisional matchup here. This is a must-win game for the Texans, but every game at this point is must-win for them because they're 1-4-1. I think their season's already pretty much over. Titans have won 4 in a row quietly, trying to make it 5 in a row. I got the Titans winning it here 38-20. The Texans' front seven is not good at all. Might be one of the worst in the league. I think Derrick Henry is going to have a field day against that front seven. If they just keep feeding it to him, he may reach 200 yards, no joke. I got the Titans 38-20. Then the Giants at the Seahawks. This is an interesting game. You know, it's in Seattle, and I think that's huge here. You know, the Giants have been winning a lot of games in funky ways. I'm going to take the Seahawks to win it here 28-27 in a very, very tight game. I think the Seahawks are going to win it, but it really could go either way. I'm not definitively saying the Seahawks are going to win. It's a hunch I have, and it really shouldn't be that much of a surprise considering the Seahawks are at home, and the Seahawks are pretty good as of right now. Then the Commanders at the Colts. Carson Wentz will be missing out on his revenge game against the Colts, the franchise that really tainted his name after he left. Sam Ehlinger will be making the start. I think, you know, regardless of who wins this game, this is going to be a very, very low-scoring game. You know, Sam Ehlinger, quarterback, trying to get going, an offense that has been having trouble all year long. While with the Commanders, they got Taylor Heineke in, who, you know, the Colts defense is pretty good, so I think they're going to have some troubles. I'm going to take the Colts to win it, though, 16-10. But it's two very evenly matched teams, and it can go either way. Then maybe the game of the week, 49ers at the Rams. Winner will not for sure be in first place in the NFC West. They would need the Seahawks to lose. So this isn't for first, but this is huge. You know, I think for the 49ers, this is a must-win game because I think after getting blown out the way they did against the Chiefs in the first game with Christian McCaffrey, I think it's a must-win game in terms of morale. I mean, if they lose, they're 3-5, and you got to remember they were 3-5 last year and still made it to the NFC Championship game. So if they lose, I don't think their season's in the toilet in any means. But and they can still catch up to the Seahawks and the Rams. But I just think in terms of morale and where this team would be mentally, a loss here would be deadly. The Rams are coming off of a bye. The Rams really, really don't want to lose to the Niners again after losing to them a few weeks ago. The Rams offense really cannot get anything going against that Niners defense, and that's really been, you know, the trend over the last few years. Even in the NFC Championship game, the Rams offense struggled throughout most of that game. The Niners on offense, I think, will bounce back. I really do. I think Christian McCaffrey will be more involved in this game. So I'm going to take the Niners to win it 23-20. Deebo Samuel always shows up against the Rams. Got the Niners. Then the Sunday night game, the Packers at the Bills. The Packers are 11-point underdogs in this game. Tell me the last time Aaron Rodgers was an underdog by that much points. I think I'm seeing a lot of people saying that this is going to be a runaway. Bills are going to blow them out. I really don't think so. I think the Packers are going into this game in a must-win scenario. And, you know, I've said that a few times today, but I think this is the team that needs a win the most this week. Because if they lose this game, suddenly they're 3-5. The Vikings could be 6-1, and they would be 3 games back, and the Vikings would have tiebreaker. But not only that, this would be the Packers' 4th straight loss if they lose this game. 4th straight loss. And if you lose a 4th game in a row, you're really in mediocrity. So I think this Packers team is going to come in here with a, effort mentality, and the Bills may come out a little bit cold after a bye week, coming off of the big win the other week. I think the Packers defense is very good despite the struggles the Packers have been having as a team. Their defense has been playing pretty solid despite. I think they'll be able to slow down Josh Allen at times. I think the running game for the Packers will get going against the Bills because the Packers have a great running attack. I think this game actually can go either way. I'm actually gonna just take the Bills though to win this game 24-23. They are the better team. They're the team that's shown more. But like I said, it really would not surprise me if the Packers win this game. So yeah. And then the final game of the week, the Monday night game, a divisional matchup in the AFC North. The Bengals at the Browns. This is going to be probably a high-scoring game. At least I think so. I think the Browns are going to get something going here offensively against that weak front seven with those running backs. I think the Bengals will score some points too. Browns have been defense may allow some points, even though they have a good secondary against the Bengals. Passing attack. I got a high-scoring game here. I'm going to take the Bengals to win it though, 38-35. I think if the game does get into a shootout, I think it's safe to say Burrow will probably outdo Jacoby Brissett, down the stretch. And to add to it, he has better receivers to throw to than Brissett does. So I got the Bengals winning at 38-35. But comment down below what you guys think about this. Tell me your picks for this week's game. And don't forget to subscribe. And other than that, I'll see you guys next time.